The biggest challenge to Zohran Mamdani winning New York City's mayor race is convincing older New Yorkers that he won't bankrupt the city. The biggest criticisms are that his policies don't add up. How are you going to pay for childcare or free buses? And what is rent control going to do to struggling landlords? All of these criticisms are true if you ignore everything that it means to live in New York City. That's Timothy Chalamet. See, Timothy Chalamet grew up in an affordable housing program. See, Mitchell Lama's Manhattan Plaza specifically gave housing to performing artists. Chalamet grew up there, right? He had a secure, stable housing and ended up making Dune Part 2. It made over $1 billion in the box office. Alicia Keys also lived there. Larry David lived there. Samuel L. Jackson, when he was struggling for work, worked there as a security guard. You know what else is a really successful social program? Public education. If you look at George Westinghouse High School in Brooklyn, it housed DMX, Biggie, Busta Rhymes, and Jay-Z. Now, I don't know if all of them actually showed up for class, but hey, I mean, I'm sure they were rapping together, you know, battle rapping, steel sharpening steel. Fast forward to today, and these men have globalized the art form and made a $1 billion industry in the process. CUNY was also hotly contested at the time, another public education program. It was widely successful. Before then, we didn't have the number of college graduates that we have today. It boosted public education, boosted the workforce, and created innovations that made New York City what it is today. CUNY was called the poor man's Harvard because it produced over 13 Nobel Prize winners. You'll have creators and pundits try and dig into the numbers from a strictly analytical black and white standpoint, but you can't just use traditional logic on everything. Living in a capitalist society under those terms, if you read them on paper, you would think people want to always just buy the cheapest products or cheapest clothes possible. But no, there are unaccounted for consumer psychological behavior patterns. Some people want to live in luxury. So who are we to say that landlords would stop fixing their homes, that people would stop working jobs or chasing their dreams just because they're getting a little bit of help from the money that they're spending in taxes that they should get in service? Some investments are long-term, they're generational, and they pay off outputs. It's the reason why New York City is the great as it is today. We accept that human behavior isn't always rational. Why can't we accept that public investment isn't always quantifiable? People completely understand buying a luxury bag for a 300% markup, but we need to do mental gymnastics to reason fare-free buses. That to us is a waste of money. When we say follow the data, people think the objective truth, but that's not what you get from data. What people mean is follow the data that we're trained to value: profit, productivity, and private return. We don't think about collective, long-term, qualitative value for the good of us all. I want to talk about realistic, but they're trying to shove an entirely new economy in this bill and get it passed by Independence Day. Yes, we argue the morality of it, its existence, but we don't argue whether it's fiscally feasible to do something like this. We're not talking about it in the same way that we talk about Mamdani's policies. We have to understand we are active agents in this world, and we don't just find what's realistic. We create it.